Hi everybody, this is the Prospect Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host. Welcome back to the Prospect Hut, and we're going to get into the Prospect Report and update and what happened on Sunday, April 12th, in the Mets minor leagues. Of course, we got 4 minor league teams right now that play now every day. The only day they don't play is on Monday, which is interesting. And of course, teams don't go on these long road trips anymore. They basically play six games against one team, then they move on, and they flip-flop whether it's on the road or it's at home. But this is from Amazing Avenue. They do an excellent job. Mets Daily Prospect Report for Sunday. I'll catch up on all the Mets prospects and Sunday's action. The AAA Syracuse Mets defeated the Buffalo Bisons 3-2, trailing 1-0 for most of the ball game. The late 3-run surge put Syracuse on top in the 8th inning, and Ryan Lambert, who's a prospect, Joe Jackas, and Alfredi Gomez locked it down for the win. Duarte Bauman, Jonathan Bintaro, who was a prospect too, and Lambert combined to allow a single run over 7 innings. A 4th inning Charles McAdoo solo homer, but the offense struggled against Josh Fleming and the Buffalo bullpen behind him. Finally, in the top of the 8th, the bats came alive. Nick Morabito, who is a prospect, he will be with the Mets at some point in 2026, had a 2-run homer to put Syracuse on top, and Christian Pache drove an insurance run with an RBI triple. That insurance run came up big in the bottom of the 9th. As the Bisons loaded the bases, were able to bring home a run on a ground out before Gomez recorded the last out of the ballgame. MJ Melendez went 2 for 4 with a strikeout. Nick Morabito went for 4 of an RBI, or 2 RBIs and a home run. Ryan Clifford went 1 for 4 of a run, a double, and a strikeout. Jose Rojas went 1 for 3. Christian Pache went 1 for 4 of an RBI, triple. Vidal Brujan went 1 for 4, struck out and had an error. Jaiwan Bay went 1 for 3 of a stolen base. Jackson Clough went 0 for 4. Catcher Onyx Vega went 1 for 2 of a walk. Pinch runner Yanni Hernandez he scored a run, that's all he did. Catcher Hayden Sanger went 0 for 1. On the pitching side, Daniel Duarte went 2 2/3 innings, gave up a hit and 1 walk and a strikeout. Mike Bauman pitched an inning, gave up 2 hits, a run, 1 earned, 0 walks, and 1 strikeout. Jonathan Bintaro pitched 2 1/3 innings, gave up a hit, and struck out 3 and had a wild pitch in the game. Ryan Lambert, he got the win, pitched 1 2/3 innings, gave up a hit, struck out 1. Left-handed pitcher Joe Jackas went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, a run, 1 earned, 2 walks, a strikeout, and hold. And then to finish up the game with the save was Alfredi Gomez, who went 2/3 of an innings, gave up a hit, a walk, and then he struck out to get the final out. The Binghamton Rowan Ponies lost to the Somerset Patriots, the affiliate of the Yankees, 7-5. Jordan Lieber looked fine early on, but he was lifted for Dakota Hawkins in the top of the 4th, and things quickly went awry. The right-hander allowed a double, walked the batter, allowed another double, allowed a triple, and allowed yet another double before finally recording his first out. When everything was said and done, it was 5-0 Patriots. A Jacob Reimer 2-run homer in the 6th put Binghamton on the board, but those runs were negated in the top of the 9th when Somerset scored 2 more runs off of Kevin Gowdy. It's too bad because the Rowan Ponies mounted a comeback in the bottom of the inning and played 3 runs in the bottom of the frame on Jose Ramon and his 3-run homer before running out of outs. Had Gowdy not allowed those 2 runs, Binghamton would have tied the game at 5-5, and who knows what would have happened in extras. They might still be playing on Monday. Here's the offensive side. A.J. Ewan playing second baseman. Everybody went 1 for 4. Continues his hot hitting. Hard start. Had a run scored, a double, a walk. Marco Vargas 0 for 5. I don't know what's going on with him as a prospect. I don't know if he'll be in the majors. Third baseman Jacob Reimer went 1 for 4. He's gotten off to a slow start. Had a home run, 2 RBIs. He also had an error. Chris Suarez playing left field in this game. Very interesting prospect. Very versatile. His versatility, it makes him very unique because he can catch. He was playing left field. He went 2 for 3 with a run, a triple, a walk. 3rd stolen base the season he had in the game. That's a guy to keep an eye on. He will help the Mets. And he's a high-energy guy. People are going to love him. And he's from the Bronx, too. Eli Serrano, DH, went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Jose Ramos went 1 for 4 with a home run, 3 RBIs. DeAndre Smith went 0 for 3. Ken Parada went 1 for 4. Nick LaRussa went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Jordan Geber went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 3. Dakota Hawkins pitched terribly, pitched 1 inning, gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout for the loss. Saul Garcia pitched 2 innings. Zach Peak pitched an inning. Matt Turner pitched an inning. And Kevin Gowdy was a disaster too, pitched an inning, gave up a hit, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and 2 wonderful wild pitches. The Brooklyn Cyclones, starting their season 2-6 after being one of the best teams in baseball in the minor leagues last year, lost 7-0 to the Jersey Shore Blue Claws. Earlier this week, Irving Cota piggybacked Joel Diaz and threw 3 2/3 innings of scores ball against the Blue Claws after Diaz allowed 3 runs in 3 1/3 innings to start the ball game off. This week, the roles were reversed, but the results were the same. Aw, not good. There's really not much to talk about here. Mitch Voigt went 1 for 2. John Bay went 0 for 4. Antonio Jimenez went 0 for 4. Diverson Gutierrez went 0 for 4. Ronald Hernandez went 0 for 3. Colin Houck went 0 for 2. Yahira Savas went 0 for 3. Vincent Peroza went 1 for 2. Kevin Fitzgino went 1 for 3. Irving Cota pitched 3 innings, gave 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Joel Diaz pitched 4 innings, gave 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts he got. Hunter Hodges finished the game. He didn't pitch much better. Pitched an inning, gave 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, and he had an error too. That's great. Finally, the St. Lucie Mets lost to the Dunedin Blue Jays 13-6. It's more of a football score than a baseball score. Suffice to say, St. Lucie's pitching just didn't have it yesterday afternoon. Joel Lara allowed 5 runs over 2 innings. Felix Cepeda allowed 3 runs and 1 1/3 innings. And Caden Wooster allowed 4 runs while recording just a single out. On the bright side, A.J. Minter looked good in his inning of work. Nate Lavender did as well, and the offense did log 10 hits. Though sadly, Elian Pena was 0 for 4, snapping his 7-game hitting streak going back to opening day. Also of note, a weird thing happened. 2019 25th round selection Joe Charles pitched his first full inning of work after appearing in his first game on Friday night and recorded an out. Charles was a prep right-hander from the TNXL Academy, but opted not to sign with the Mets, instead honoring his commitment to the University of North Carolina. It was a long and winding road for Charles, missing time from the COVID-19 pandemic, a major non-arm injury, and a major elbow injury. After transferring to and graduating from Florida State, the right-hander was signed as a minor league free agent last summer but did not play. Now, 6 years later, he finally has arrived, one of 5 prep players drafted by the Mets in 2019. Still in affiliated baseball along with Jace Beck, Tucker Flint, Hunter Barco, and Brett Beatty. Wow. So Matt Allen's he's not in baseball. Wow. He was a prep guy. Well, that's funny. Let's drafted him 25th in 2019. As you know, Tommy Pham with the Mets, he went 0 for 2 in this game. Brandy Del Olio went 1 for 1. Elian Pena went 0 for 4. Edison Paulino went 2 for 4. Julio Zayas, DH, went 1 for 3. AJ Sagata went 2 for 3. Simon went 1 for 4. Chase Meagers went 1 for 4. Right fielder JT Benson went 1 for 4. Sam Robertson playing second and left went 1 for 4. We really want to go do the pitching here. Let's just put it this way. The pitching was terrible. The pitching was terrible. The only good thing is that we saw A.J. Minter get on the mound and Nate Lavender get on the mound. And they both pitched pretty well. They just, between two of them, they pitched 2 innings, gave a hit, and had 2 strikeouts, 1 each from each of them. And, of course, Joe Charles, won 1 inning, gave up a hit, and struck out 2 in first appearance. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Wow. That is something else. Second appearance, actually. Wow. But you never know. So if he was 18, that means he was born in 2001, so he's 25 years old. So he could be a major leaguer. If he spends 4 years in the minor leagues, he certainly could do that. And he was the guy that was drafted and then signed with the Mets, as a free agent. That's crazy. Well, thank you for watching this video. And, of course, please subscribe to the Prospect Hut, and I'll see you later.